Welcome to Cool But Rude, a TMNT rewatch podcast. Today we're going to be going over TMNT 1987 Season 3, Episode 11, April Fool. Stay tuned. Welcome back, and like I said, we're going over today's episode. Episode 11, April Fool, from Season 3, and had an original air date of October 9th, 1989. I am your host, Christopher.
I'm Robert.
I am Mike.
And yeah, so like I said, we're going with episode 11 this week, and which might sound weird considering last episode was episode 1, the season premiere, episode 1. But as we previously stated, these were aired out of order. So while they were doing, they'd be doing back to back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 every week. They weren't going in the actual like production order. They were going like 1, 11, 2, 5, whatever. So that's we're following it by the story, not necessarily the air date. So that's where we're at on that.
I'm very glad we're doing that too, because I feel like with the Technodrome being stuck in lava and all that, it would really get confusing.
Oh yeah, it'd be terrible. Like it would be
like why are they back in the lava again now? Yeah,
they're above ground, underground, and I'm like, that's actually a big point. Like they make it clear that they are underground. It's not like just a passing reference or something. Like, no, it's part of their predicament and why everything sucks for them right now. The bad guys, that is.
Yeah, I'd like to know why they reorganized it in the first place. It's pretty strange.
Yeah, it is.
If I may, when we were discussing the things we got for Christmas last episode, I 100% shafted Chris on this one because there was one more thing. Chris got me an awesome Michelangelo, more of a statue than a figure. It's Michelangelo. I forgot. I don't have the box next to me. I forgot. Do you remember who made this?
It was like Iron something or Iron. Like I can't recall the actual manufacturer of the company. Yeah, something like that. It wasn't one that I was very familiar with, but it looks awesome. It's Michelangelo, and he's kind of just in sort of attack mode, and he's spinning his nunchuck. It's the nunchuck that he's holding is designed in such a way that it's kind of a plastic disc almost, and it's like that to make it look like it's spinning around really fast. And he's kind of, it's not. We kind of talked about this when I was opening it, and we were all kind of opening all our stuff. It's not chibi, but he does have kind of a slightly enlarged head. It's kind of more of a exaggeration, I would say, and not like a Funko Pop thing or a bobblehead or anything like that, but just kind of a slightly bigger head, just to kind of give him a sort of unique look. Yes.
So that was the other thing that I got that was really cool.
Excellent.
And it means nothing to you.
Yeah. Clearly.
Yeah. Whatever. Anything else that we want to discuss or cut over before we start going into our power rankings? Any new stuff? Or
I don't have anything new, but one more thing that I did just remember is we should probably note we are not doing the anchovy pizza today like we had planned. I think we're putting that off till next episode, right?
That is correct. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So that's still coming, just not this time.
Delay of execution.
Yeah. So I'm ready for the power rankings if you guys want to get to it.
Power.
Kick it off.
Okay, guys, I need a number 2 through 14. Well, how about Chris goes first?
13.
13? Okay.
That was weak. Probably got some booty ass character.
I will do 11 for Isaiah Thomas of the Detroit Pistons.
Good one.
See, I knew it. Do you know when you get a good number and he's just like, and or you get a booty ass number and he's just, so it's just like.
No, actually, no. I just like his picking. I like hearing these baskets because that was that was the era that I watched basketball, so these names actually mean something to me.
All right.
Excellent.
So Chris chose Roadkill Rodney.
Wow.
Mike chose Baxter's Electricity Monster.
Baxter's
From
Electricity Monster.
From when he had the helmet and he was able to materialize a monster made out of electricity when he had the Eye of Sarnoth helmet.
I can hardly remember that thing. Wow.
I was like, sometimes the shit you put on this ranking is just like debatable, but
let's do the electricity monster this time. First, I'll go ahead and share my screen for, I guess mostly Chris because Mike has trouble seeing it. But okay, so Baxter's electricity monster. Honestly, he wasn't that powerful. They took care of him pretty easily with like a carpet or something. I don't remember the exact thing. It like absorbed the electricity. Like, wait,
it was lame as shit. Like they're like Leo was like, we need something sort of insulation, and it's like, okay, all right.
Okay, so here's the question. This one's mostly for Chris. Where does this go in relation to Burn?
Oh no, we lost Mike. Damn. I'll wait for him because I like how you're purposely trying to like troll Mike with these fucking questions. I'm just gonna bust his balls and be like, oh yeah, Burn's above the fucking electric monster. Burn's gonna rise in the rankings. Just to chaff his ass.
I see his icon.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
We hear you.
Interesting. Okay. It was doing fine until I tried to watch the stream, Robert's stream. Then it took me away from my computer.
Okay,
sorry about that.
You good to go?
Yes, I am good to go.
All right. Well, so we pretty much decided he's going to go right below Burn.
Yes.
Roadkill Rodney?
No, the electric monster.
Is this supposed to be funny?
Yes, it is.
It is. It is supposed to be funny. However,
I'm not laughing.
I'm not laughing at you.
Who do you think wins? Let me ask you this. Who do you think wins between Captain Hoffman and the electricity monster? The electricity monster is pretty ass.
Okay, remind me what the electricity monster did in the episode.
Fucking nothing.
Basically nothing.
Oh,
it showed up.
Yeah. It shot electricity at him a couple of times. I wonder if this might actually go below Burn, like literally the bottom of the list.
I mean, as much as I want to say that, one to bug Mike, but also because this is a trash monster. I mean, realistically, like Burn ain't gonna be able to fight this thing. He's gonna like shit his pants and like die. So I'm gonna put this above Burn, even though see, Captain Hoffman's a moron too. So yeah, it's still above Burn.
I guess Captain Hoffman is kind of a moron, but
and I would think this is above the Mob of Mousers. They're not gonna be able to fight this thing. He's gonna short the hell out of him.
That's a good point. I didn't think about it. But that one-on-one aside, which is overall going to do more damage in general? If you let this guy loose on a city or you let a mob of Mousers loose on a city, I think the mob of Mousers are more powerful, even though they might lose specifically to this monster.
No, I think you can whack a Mouser, and if you if you grab a handful of people with like just some like even just like regular lawn tools, like a shovel, a sledgehammer, pitchfork, you can dispatch some Mousers. You ain't doing shit against this like 8-story tall electric monster or whatever.
I don't think you're giving the Mousers enough credit. They're pretty powerful.
I mean, they took down Splinter.
Yeah,
and we've seen what he can do. So, I don't know. I mean, that kind of leans into your argument, but it this thing's like ethereal. It doesn't have like a physical form. Like we only saw it because it like took a shape, but really like the average Joe isn't gonna be like, oh, we can like use a giant like Indian rug and wrap it up.
I feel like the average Joe would also be overwhelmed by the Mousers. Mike, what are your thoughts right now?
Those are very good points, both of those. It's hard to pick which one comes out ahead. I mean, yeah, if I put myself in the shoes of, like I was saying last week, if I'm in a zombie apocalypse and I had a group of Mousers or I had the electricity monster, I think the group of Mousers, I don't know. I think there's more advantage there. The mob factor of it, the numbers may be able to overwhelm a zombie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think the mob of Mousers gets the edge, but very slightly.
You tell me you think some walkers are gonna like get together and be like, oh, like this thing is like electrical. We can like just get some insulation, like knock out this electric monster.
Yeah, but the electricity monster is just gonna what? Shock him? That doesn't kill a zombie.
It'll fry him. You can burn a zombie to death with enough electricity. These things will catch fire.
Look, man, my argument was flimsy enough as it is. I'm trying. I really got nothing.
I'm saying it's above the mob of Mousers. That's where
I'm cool wherever y'all put this thing.
Okay, you put it above. Mike puts it sounds like right below.
I'll put it right above. Are we gonna have a tie? What do you think, Robert?
Yeah.
I kind of agree with Mike. I think just barely the Mousers are more powerful.
Okay.
Because we've seen them. They caused the whole building to crumble down. Do you remember the end of that one episode? They like let them loose and they just destroyed the whole building.
Yes.
And I just don't see the electricity. Yes, the electricity monster would do some damage. It would fry some things, but eventually people would take care of it, and then that's it.
Really think you're underestimating that electricity monster, but I'm saying this is not a hill I want to die on. I couldn't give a shit about this thing. So go ahead.
Exactly.
Okay, so at against the dissent of Chris, we will put the Baxter's electricity monster just below the mob of Mousers, just above Byrne, and of course above Captain Hoffman. Now we need to know what to do with just a roadkill Rodney. Mike, can you see are you looking at the list or no?
No.
Okay, so Chris, I'll let you start off with your thoughts on just the general placement of a roadkill Rodney, because I think I started off the last one.
I think a roadkill Rodney, he's going to be able to take down, he's going to be up there with a foot soldier. So I would put him just underneath the foot soldier probably. And based on what I saw him capable of doing, I mean, he was able to capture a rhinoceros and a giant warthog. So that alone, it means he's got the physical ability. And they kind of got like this little attitude. They got like some sort of AI programming. So
they tip their hats at people.
Yeah, they're kind of cool. So I'm like, all right, they got personality and they're kind of like they're capable. So I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously you probably outnumber one. Like, you know, if you're a turtle, it'll just knock it into the hole. But yeah, I'd put it just under a foot soldier. I think a foot soldier would be able to shoot one, no problem. Yeah.
Okay, Mike.
What is currently underneath the foot soldier?
Okay, so the order right around the foot soldier right now, just above is the neutrinos. Then we have a foot soldier. Then below a foot soldier is Napoleon Bonafrog.
Oh. And Napoleon, once again, is the one that we have not seen perform.
He's the one. No, he's the one with the whip. He did the thing where he like whipped up.
See, that's like a whip off, you know? It's like a Bonafrog with the whip, and then it's like Roadkill Rodney with this whip. So
if I'm not mistaken, he has that whip that can also electrocute.
Yeah, it's electrified.
So yes. I'm going to put he's definitely above Napoleon for me. One of the roadkill Rodneys.
Yes.
I think the whole gang for the neutrinos would take it down. I think a foot soldier would outmaneuver the roadkill Rodney, even though it was difficult to outmaneuver them in the video game, for me at least. But I'm not a foot soldier.
The game cheats.
Yeah, I agree with Chris. I like that spot.
Okay. I think that's just where it's going to end up. I would argue that it goes above a foot soldier. I don't think a foot soldier is smart enough to dodge its electric cable whip. And also, those things are super strong, as Chris said. That's what they use to capture the rhino and warthog to turn into, to use for the mutation of Bebop and Rocksteady. But I'm happy to keep it underneath a foot soldier. If that's what both of y'all think.
Yeah, I think that's where I'd be comfortable putting him.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I'm staying with that.
All right. So then we don't have anybody new this episode to do, right? The only one I thought of was the Emperor guy, but he
Princess Mallory.
Yeah,
Princess
Mallory. Yeah, do not put those people on this list.
Okay. All right, we won't do that then. So then I'll go ahead and read our list as it stands. Most powerful to least powerful: Krang, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Fly Stockman, Smash, the leader of the Crooked Ninja Turtle gang,
Jeez.
Rasputin the Mad Frog, Rocksteady, Bebop, Rex 1, April, Baxter Stockman in human form, Tentacle Monster from Dimension What, the Neutrinos, a Foot Soldier, a Roadkill Rodney, Napoleon Bonafrog, Catwoman April, a mob of Mousers, Baxter's Electricity Monster, Burn, and Captain Hoffman of the Anti-Turtle Squad.
Okay, serious question.
Okay.
What was the premise of putting Burn on the list again? And I'm actually
Mike.
asking because all these other people have been involved in some sort of combat.
I think he's kind of
J. Jonah.
He's that, or almost maybe in some, not to the same extreme, but kind of like a Lex Luthor type character also. But I think the Spider-Man one's more accurate.
Holy shit, Robert. That's really reaching.
I digress. I cannot accept this, but I will because I know I'm outnumbered. Everybody out there knows my stance on Burn. He does not belong on the list, but I allow it because I have no choice. I'm only one man.
Once again, your disagreement is noted.
It's like the complaint department.
Yes.
We've got, looks like 11 more characters, by the way.
Oh, okay. And we're still adding those as we go.
And we're still adding as we go, yeah.
And where did you pull the list of characters?
His ass.
Yes.
I mean, you do got somebody on there that makes me think that, but
I was just wondering, I really was wondering, like, how is Catwoman April weaker than regular April? But I guess because I forgot our arguments for that one.
We've made our arguments and...
Yeah, I don't remember the arguments either. I think it came down to she's not as, like, regular April's super resourceful. I do remember us talking about how badass of a driver she is.
Okay.
And that kind of stuff. And Catwoman April was pretty strong, but wasn't very effective at doing much.
No.
And that meow thing pissed me off.
That too. Okay, shall we talk about this episode?
Mike was still wondering where the list came from, the origins of the list.
Oh, yeah.
I just went through the episodes and wrote down the characters from each one. This isn't like a list that I got from someplace.
Oh, yeah, I better see Vern and Irma on this list eventually. Crickets, nice.
We'll see what happens.
I mean, if Burn is on the list, those two have to be on the list. Otherwise, this is null and void.
Noted.
Yeah, this is more than noted. You're going to have to make a change, dog. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go ahead and tell you. I have Irma on here. I hadn't put Vernon on here because I don't even know why I have Irma. No, I don't know why I put Irma, but I have Vernon. I left Vernon off because all he ever does is run away from everything.
That's all Burn does.
He is an adversary for like April though. Like he's like really getting in her way of like climbing up the ladder.
Okay.
And
I don't know why.
As we saw last episode, he's also a misogynist. So
I don't know why I have Irma on here and not him, but she's on here. There's also one character. I know you haven't forgotten about this character, but I don't think you will have thought of this character until we get to this person. And I'm really excited to see what y'all think of this one. No, Blodgett's on there. That's not who I'm talking about, though.
What?
Let's talk about.
That's my burn right there.
Let's talk about April Fool.
All right.
That's my burn. Yeah. Okay. So that's your burn. Do I have a burn?
You don't want one, dude.
Yeah, you don't want that stress in your life.
Maybe Vernon's my burn.
Wow, if Vernon's your burn, you got it easy because that guy deserves to be on the list.
Yeah.
He's a pain in April's ass. He's not a turtle problem. He's an April problem. That's the thing with Vernon. Maybe that could have been your argument.
Yeah, maybe that was it. No, I don't think that was it. I don't know. Whatever. April Fool, season 3, episode 11. New York City is being visited by Emperor Alistair of Malacuria, who is looking to sell mining rights to a newly discovered deposit of Lydium-90. As April says in her news report, harder than diamond, more beautiful than gold, Lydium-90 might just be the most valuable element on Earth. In the Technodrome, still stranded beneath the Earth's crust, Krang sees the newscast and explains that this isotope is the most powerful energy source yet found on Earth, and that even the small sample that Alistair brought with him would be enough to get the Technodrome out of its place deep within the Earth. Knowing the Lydium-90 will be heavily guarded, Shredder plans to kidnap the Emperor's princess daughter Mallory and ransom her for the element. Luckily, there's a masquerade ball being held at the Malakirian embassy, which will serve as a distraction for him to carry out his plan. Matters go awry for everyone when April, dressed up for the ball, turns out to look indistinguishable from Princess Mallory. As the princess has coincidentally decided to sneak out this night, everyone, including the embassy guards, believe April to be the princess. This further results in April being kidnapped by Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady, who do not realize the mistake until later. The Turtles, who have infiltrated the party to try to keep April safe, attempt to find and rescue her, but they encounter their own problems when they are mistaken for the princess's captors. Shredder finally receives the Lydium-90 ransom from Alistair, but he does not yet give up April, saying he will do so once he's reached a safe location. After a few run-ins with the Turtles, Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady finally escape back to the Technodrome with the Lydium-90. However, Donatello explains that it was all for naught. Lydium-90 is a highly unstable isotope and will disintegrate or explode when exposed to the heat and atmospheric pressure at the Technodrome's location. When Shredder hands the Lydium-90 to Krang, it does indeed explode, and they remain stranded beneath the Earth's surface. I love how either it's going to disintegrate or do the exact opposite.
Right.
And blow up.
It's like, it's either going to save the day or kill everybody. Like, what? So yes, episode 11, season 3, April Fool, opens up with April on location at the Malacuria embassy / mansion, reporting on the arrival of Emperor Alistair and his daughter Princess Mallory. In tow, they have a sample of Lydium-90, which, as Robert described, is harder than diamond and more beautiful than gold. And he's there to broker some sort of new deal, considering they have like a huge resource of it, a huge supply of it in Malacuria.
I love how they made up a country because it feels like they're just trying to play it safe. Like, we can't let this be taken to mean like to have some sort of actual like political commentary. Yes. We got to come up with a new place.
Well, I mean, think about it. Like, this is like Cold War era, so anywhere could almost be like, what are you trying to say?
Yeah.
Like, damn.
What do you mean, you people?
Yeah. Yes. April wraps up the report, and then Irma shows up with her shit attitude about being single. So it's like this chick. She's like saying how April can't go to the party dressed the way she is, and drags her away. And April's like, like, why would I care about how I'm dressed? Like, I'm going. She's like, you can't go dressed like that. How are you gonna get a man?
Yeah, because April's just to clarify, because April's just going just to cover it for the news.
Yeah, and then Irma's over here, like she's lamenting. She's like, "Oh, I hear about gold. I thought this was supposed to be a happy news report. Like you're talking about diamonds and gold, and that just reminds me of an engagement ring, which I don't have." It's just like, chick, you need to quit projecting all your shit on everybody. So yeah, Irma's there. She got her issues. We cut to the Technodrome. Shredder's in there. He's bitching about the new cooling system that Krang invented. This line killed me. He's just like, this thing is worse than useless. It's hotter than Japanese horseradish in here.
Yeah.
He's like walking around throwing his hands up, totally pissed off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, wouldn't Japanese horseradish, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't that just be like wasabi?
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm the impression I'm under.
Maybe Japanese horseradish is the actual plant, and that's what wasabi's made from.
Or wasabi is like a root itself that looks like the horseradish. So either way, it kind of seems like the same thing. But that's me just being ignorant. So
oh no, you're right. You're right. It is just the same thing. I just looked it up. In Japan, horseradish is referred to as seiyo wasabi.
Oh, far out. Okay, because I saw Jeremy Clarkson having like growing some on that show Clarkson's Farm on Amazon, and he was like digging some up and having it, and they looked a lot like horseradish. It was just green, and he was like having one of his dudes go into the city and sell it. So it was, but it's like because like high end like wasabi is like really expensive.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. I digress.
The more you know.
Yeah, the Technodrome needs more power is the gist of it. And Krang is saying that if we can get some of this lithium-90, just that sample that the Emperor has would be sufficient to power the Technodrome and get them going again. So Shredder goes to steal it along with Bebop and Rocksteady.
Do you like Krang's little sing-songy voice here?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. My gosh.
I was like,
Krang was great.
Yes.
What was this? I was like, what was that part for? Is that necessary?
What is it that he says?
I don't know what Shredder says, something that Krang, I hope he knows what he's talking about, something like that. And Krang was like, I always do.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly. You're the official Krang impersonator, Mike.
Oh.
So yes, that's exactly what he was saying. And I was just like, was that necessary, Krang? Like, you're going to go into show tunes here soon?
Krang was messing with Shredder this whole episode, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, Shredder gets his. So
he does. Yes.
The pettiness in this level is like excellent.
Oh, it is. It's great.
I love it.
So we cut to the turtle lair. Now Splinter's sitting there eating sushi. Michelangelo is just like, what are you eating? And he calls it, like, it's got a specific name. He's just basically, it's tuna. And he offers some to Michelangelo. And he's like, no, man, that's like grosso mode. Like, I'm good. And Splinter goes and lectures him about like, oh, Wise Man says that embracing new experiences like makes your life better. And at that, almost like right after he gets done saying that, Leonardo is like, here's some pizza, Master Splinter. It's like marshmallow pepperoni. And he's like, a wise man also knows some experiences are more embracing than others. Like, are less embraceable. Yes.
Splinter being a complete bitch like usual.
Total hypocrite.
He did backpedal.
Yeah. He's like, nah, do as I say, not as I do. It's kind of what I'm getting from this cat.
Like, so he's just coming up with these sayings on the spot. It's like he hasn't, like all these supposedly wise things he fucking says. It's not actual wisdom that he's bullshit. Developed. It's just bullshit that he comes up with on the spot. And he's like, oh, and when he gets called out on, he's like, never mind.
Wise man also says, yeah, wise man. I got your freaking wise man. But yeah,
I think we can fill a whole podcast of you two just hating on Splinter.
Dude, this guy is
I
never realized how like lame he was in my opinion.
Me either.
And how much I love Shredder. Like,
yeah, I know. I was not expecting that as we've gone through this to like Shredder more than Splinter.
Yeah, somehow he's become more likable. Almost like, what? Like, it's probably because he's more relatable because I'm an older person now. So I'm like, man, I know that frustration.
Plus, like, Shredder's ripped too, and Splinter's just like, Splinter doesn't even, I don't think Splinter even exercises anymore.
It's hilarious. This is the concept is like he's gonna be doing his katas alongside his turtles, which he tells to do. He rides their ass about.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go meditate."
Yeah, aka sit on your ass.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Splinter. Well, that aside, there's another pizza time.
Oh, right.
Marshmallow and pepperoni has been added to the list, and it is the first pizza in this new batch of
On the
10.
new list.
That one just makes my stomach hurt. I don't know why, but
That one doesn't sound too bad. I mean, it doesn't sound good. I would never just choose to eat it, but if that's the one we ended up with, I would. It's much better than many of the alternatives we've had so far.
And in the image they showed, when it's the large marshmallows. It's not like these little like cocoa mellows.
Mm-mm.
No, these are like the big boy for s'mores.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the big ones. Did y'all notice they did the thing again? It was only for just a split second. They've got, I think it was Leonardo doing the drumstick style holding.
Oh my gosh,
pizza.
I did not notice that.
No.
Yeah, it was just for a quick second because then they like changed camera angles and they're kind of holding it more normal. Then we get a big moment.
Oh my gosh.
When April comes in.
You have to transition into this because what Splinter just said is key in what Raphael just starts to say.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
Okay. So
I don't remember this.
Yeah. So I know we segue to April walking in all dolled up. She's like made out for the ball. You know, looks great. She's got a gown on. Her hair's done differently. She's like unrecognizable. She's looking very pretty.
Unrecognizable. She looks like a Disney princess, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, good point.
And the Turtles and Splinter are all about it. They're all commenting like, "Oh my gosh, you look great." And even like Raphael made my best comment, made my favorite comment. He was like, "Wow, you clean up nice."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a really weird way to put it.
Well, yeah, everybody's being all good. Like she's a girl, so like, you look pretty, you're beautiful, you look amazing. He's like, yeah, you look all right.
And Donatello is making the goofiest face.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Just he's got this big dumbass smile on his face, but the way his teeth are drawn, he just
I know.
he looks so funny. He's just sitting there smiling.
I don't know. The whole transition into this was just, I don't know. I laughed at this whole part because when Splinter's saying about the pizza, you know, the wise person also realizes that some experiences are less embraceable than others. Raphael, now, I don't know why they drew it this way. Before he even looked back at April, he was looking forward as he started to speak, and he's like, wow, talk about embraceable.
Oh, right.
Nice.
Calm down, Raphael.
Calm down, Raphael.
Here's Donnie, you know, gosh, April, you look just like a girl. Leo says you look lovely. Mikey is truly tubuloso. And then you got the Raph thing. You clean up real good.
Yeah.
And then even Splinter gets in on it. And he, of course, he's trying to be more civilized. But he's pretty much giving himself up. He's not really doing much better. He goes, you make this ancient rodent feel young.
Like a little rat boner or something.
and then she tells him that she's going to, you know, just cover this story or whatever. And Leonardo says, I think we better keep an eye on her. And of course, all the turtles are like, fine with me. They all,
fighting their way out the tunnel.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Off my shell. Like all this.
Right.
Yeah. So they run out to follow her to watch over her during the, you know, not expecting anything to go wrong at this point. There hadn't really been they don't know that there's a conflict yet, but I guess they just are coming up with an excuse to try to watch her more. Is really what it comes down to.
Creep on her. That's cool.
To creep on her, exactly.
Her friends. So we cut over to the mansion. The Emperor is giving his daughter Princess Mallory, a costume for the party. She's put off by it. She's like, oh, great, like another party, another thing. Like, I'm bored. Like, look at this another like princess costume. And he's like insistent that she puts it on and goes out there. When she's like, and it just so happens that she looks identical to April O'Neil. So obviously this is going to be like, okay, we know where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got an idea.
Now, when April arrives, we're still at the mansion. April arrives at the mansion, and to her surprise and her, you know, unfortunateness, it's a masquerade ball. She's like, oh, great. Now I got to go back home and change. And at this point, the security guards recognize her and they give her crap at first. But then she's like, oh, wait, no, I'm here for the ball. And she's like, oh, wait, it's the princess. They've now mistaken her as their princess. So they're like, come this way. You must get inside and like change and get ready for the party. And she's all like into it. She's like, cool.
Yeah, she's kind of like, well, I guess I can just go along with this. So she completely just plays it. I don't know if that's an ethical thing for journalists to do, but she rolls with it.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm like, she's probably all excited to get the scoop. So I'm like, all right. And she even mentions that later. So we cut to the underground. We got Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady. They're on their way in the module, which is still one of the coolest vehicles. Yeah, I love this.
Oh
thing.
Yeah.
They're in there, and Shredder has to remind them, his minions, of what the plan is, and that is to kidnap the princess and ransom her for the Lithium-90 sample. And if the directions they were followed as they should have been, they should be entering the basement. Lo and behold, they pop up, and they are not in the basement. They are outside in the grounds.
Okay, so I've got two things here. Shredder says, like you just said, if you followed my instructions, we should be directly beneath the embassy basement. They pop out, and of course they're not. They're outside of the building. But Shredder's the one driving.
I thought that's what I saw.
Yeah.
So what instructions were these that Bebop and Rocksteady were supposed to do to make them be beneath the basement if Shredder's the one driving the thing?
Gaslighting.
I think, wow. No, I think there was some sort of like prep in the initial like onset that we were not in on, where, they probably would have been in charge of installing the coordinates or something like that. And
oh my gosh, that was an even bigger mistake in that case.
To give them that responsibility, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, really, in a way, you can't help but blame Shredder for something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Second, did y'all notice that the transport module on the inside has an exit sign by the door?
Yes.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
I saw that. I was like, that's a weird thing for them to put in there. Like, why would they give a shit? Like OSHA's in on this? Like,
right. Oh my gosh. I wonder if that was supposed to be a joke, or if the artists put that in, just thinking like, well, they got to know where the exit is. Whatever it is, it's just hilarious to see a big exit sign over the door.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's one door in the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I caught that. And I was just like, why would they care?
It's like having an exit sign. I want to get an exit sign on my car.
Yeah. I was thinking about like the Apollo 1 capsule, like exit. It's just like,
yeah, okay, that'd be more like it, yeah.
But so Shredder, once they get there, he's yelling at him, he bitches at him because they're not in the basement, they're in the yard. And some guards roll up on him and like about to give him some crap. And he's just like, I'm here for the costume party. Show us there. And they're like, oh, of course. Like, we'll take. He's just like, show me there. Take me there at once. Like, he's like in control. Like, he's calling shots and shit. I was just like, damn, this guy's baller. And then they're like, oh, yes, of course, sir. And they start complimenting him on his costume. They're like, oh, wow, those really good costumes. Like, he's like, thank you. I made them myself. And I thought that was hilarious because it's like, he's like, yeah, I made Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that. That's good.
Yeah. And then he just goes along and is like, oh, thank you. And he just sounds all proud of it and shit. I was like, that's tight. That's my boy.
That's really good. I love that. Okay.
At this point, then we cut over to the turtles. They're on the roof. They spot Shredder and they're like, oh, man, this is bad news. We got to move in closer. Cut over to the mansion. Princess is in there bitching about her life of being a princess, being boring, yada, yada. And she wants to explore, typical like Disney princess kind of spiel. And she sneaks out of her room to go explore New York City, which, good luck, chick. Just then, April is being shown to the room by the guards, and she's like, ooh, I could get used to this. And she goes in there, and she's like looking for the princess who had just happened to just made her escape. And April sees the gown that she was supposed to wear and the tiara. And she's like, oh, like they must mistake me for her. I can put these on, and maybe this can get me like an exclusive or something. And she like puts it on, and now she's all in on her scheme to get a story.
Yep.
You can't deny April's passion and drive.
No.
Oh, yeah.
For
all about that.
As we've said, she's very resourceful.
Yes.
Yep.
And then so the next part is this when the turtles are all looking in the window at the people in the party.
Not quite. I think this is where Shredder and his goons roll up on the princess's room.
Oh, yeah.
Just as April is taking a call from the Turtles, and they're warning her that Shredder and his crew are rolling up. And she's like, "Oh, it's so sweet. You guys check on me, yada yada." And just then they go in there, bonk her, and take her, and she drops the turtle comm. And they're like, "Oh, wait, April, are you there?" And then like they run off with her. And the turtles decide they have to go crash the party. And at that point, when they're crashing the party and they're like scaling it, they're playing this like the weird ass, this a very odd choice of music in my opinion, because it's like the kind of music where it's just like the daily life of like the people in the city, or like they're, I don't know, it just seems like the Office kind of music.
It's the same music they played when the first time we saw the Neutrinos, and they went and hung out with them at an arcade.
Okay, so it's like, to me, this isn't like, oh, we're gonna sneak into a mansion music. This is like, oh, we're gonna go have like a soda music.
To me, the music at that point was supposed to more kind of represent the goings on of the masquerade ball itself, and not so much Shredder being there, but just like, oh, here's some kind of goofy, kind of whimsical music that, you know, might be kind of what they're listening to or similar to what they're listening to.
See,
that's how I took it.
Are you? I'm not sure if we're talking about the same music. Cause I'm talking about the one where they're actually like climbing, like the turtles are outside climbing up, and they're like trying to like, and Donatello is helping them boost up and everything.
Maybe not. Maybe now that you say that, this might have been earlier that I'm thinking of.
Okay, yeah, this sounds like the regular like day-to-day kind of music.
Okay,
and I'm like, that's a weird choice, but anyway, it was cool when they broke into the mansion. It was maybe it was like showing like the how easy it is for the turtles to just, you know, scale a house and break in. But
maybe so, yeah. What'd you guys think of the costumes?
Oh yeah, I have something about that.
Did you see that one guy?
I did.
Okay.
Yes. This is.
Oh, I don't know who the one guy is, but I want to hear.
Okay. But first, though, I want to go back because something very important, groundbreaking, happens in that hallway. We learn what Rocksteady's favorite food is.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Shrimp puffs and cheese dip.
Yep.
I love Shredder's response. He's like, "Shut up, I don't want to dip you in something way more unpleasant than cheese."
Yes.
Like, he can't just let him talk about what food he likes. He has to turn it into an insult.
A threat.
Well, I think Shredder's getting tired of all this whining. They were whining about the module being all dusty and stuff. Every time they got out of it, they whining about this.
Shredder's kind of doing some whining of his own, though.
Because of them. Because they keep jacking his shit up, or Krang's busting his balls.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Give me the resources I need, and I can get this job done. But nobody wants to listen to Shredder.
Yeah,
okay, yeah, you're right.
I'm starting to be Team Shredder, man. Straight up.
Welcome.
Welcome, yes. All right, so we cut inside to the mansion as the turtles are breaking in. We got Shredder and Co, and they have April. They're running toward an elevator. And this is funny too, because Rocksteady's trying to be like, "Oh yeah, like what happens if we don't get there in time?" She turned into a pumpkin, and then Bebop's like, "No, right. That's so and so bimbo." And I was like, I never heard a guy get called that, but that's pretty cool.
I know. I was thinking the same thing.
And then like they're running toward this elevator. This art was like gangster as hell. This guard walks out of the elevator.
This poor man.
Oh yeah.
And Rocksteady's like, Zah! And like just shoots the shit out of him.
Shot him in the gut.
Like, obviously
shoots him.
He's like, ah! He got murdered, dude. Like this is dead.
He straight up killed him.
Gunshot to the gut. Just trying to do his job.
And he just lays on the ground like some mall cop. Just laying on the ground. I was like, oh, he ain't moving.
Yeah. No, he wasn't. And I was wondering, like, whether later they were gonna show him getting back up or something to show that he like wasn't dead. But no, that was it.
And I'm like, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he like the one black cop, the black guard?
This is correct.
I don't remember.
They
was
smoke
he?
His
I
ass.
didn't remember that. Oh no.
Yeah. So I was like, wow. So smoke the guard. They get in the elevator. We go to Princess Mallory's room. The Emperor goes in there looking for his daughter, realizes she's been kidnapped, finds the ransom note and the turtle communicator, and orders his guards to lock down the party. Nobody leaves until we find her.
Which is funny because the window was opened, but he doesn't think that maybe she got out through the window. He's just like you said, lock all the doors.
Yeah, lock it down.
Well, yeah,
that's a good point. I didn't even notice that.
He also pockets the communicator. Thinking it's just a crushed turtle shell, and that'll come up later.
Well, he's like, yeah, he thinks like, oh, this could be useful. He like stuffs it in the front of his pants. I'm like, that's cool. We cut back to the elevator. It suddenly stops. Shredder presumes it's due to the security, which it is. Has Rocksteady blow a hole in the floor, and they escape. And Bebop laments that they will not be having shrimp puffs. Does this mean we won't be having shrimp puffs? Gets pulled in.
Shrimp puffs sound good. I'm not sure if I've ever had any before.
I know I haven't, but it kind of sounds like a crab wonton or something, but
that's what I'm picturing.
I pictured it as kind of I think y'all are probably right. I pictured it as more of a breaded kind of shrimp cake, kind of a small, lightly breaded shrimp cake type thing. More kind of like a crab cake, but with shrimp. But I bet y'all are probably right.
This all sounds good.
And actually, and the first thing that I thought of was like a cream puff, but instead of cream, it was filled with shrimp. And I was like some sort of savoriness.
Oh, that sounds kind of good.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that.
It's better than these pizzas.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up to see. Okay. I Googled shrimp puffs to see if this is actually a thing. And there are a million recipes and pretty much they all look the same. They're kind of more like, they look like little cornbread muffins with shrimp in them.
Like a hush puppy or something or what?
No.
Oh yeah.
More just like a straight cornbread muffin. Although one of them just looks like, yeah, I kind of want these now. Can we put these on the list? Can these be one of the pizzas?
Yeah, pizza with shrimp puffs. I like that. Where were we? Okay, yeah, we come back to the ballroom, and they're doing like a panning shot, and like I don't know who wants to tell it, but like there's this obvious little weirdo in there, dressed very familiarly.
Okay, I noticed that, but
I was like, who's going as a Ninja Turtle?
Yeah,
and like
out of all the costumes I saw, that's the one that got me.
Okay, that was.
It's like Gary Coleman, in a Ninja Turtle costume.
God damn, you said Gary Coleman.
That's what it looked like.
That's amazing. What you talking about?
Oh,
I mean, I guess
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But no, to me, it's just an odd choice of costume. It's kind of like somebody in the Batman universe going to a masquerade ball dressed as Batman. It's just like,
yeah. I think it's just the writers like messing around, just some tongue-in-cheek stuff, just having some fun.
I think
Easter
so.
egg. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it didn't mean anything. I mean, there's no like, ooh, what kind of arc is this leading toward? Like, no.
Maybe it's like one of their best friends or something who really loves the turtles, and his name starts with a J. And we'll get you in an episode. And there he is.
Just wrote his ass.
Maybe he was the shop owner of where the kid bought the turtles in the first place.
Yes.
Nice
to bring it all around. Yes.
There was a guy dressed up as Batman. It was a fat Batman.
Yeah, I saw that guy.
Superman
too.
as well.
Yeah.
Superman, Little Bo Peep, things like that. Kind of the typical things that you would expect to see in a costume party on a cartoon.
So the guards show up now after the panning shot, and they tell all the guests they have to remove their masks and show their tickets. Meanwhile, the turtles, who are also in the room, think that they might be able to, that April might know what has happened. And knows about the princess, and not knowing that she was actually the one that was kidnapped him by mistake. The turtles go to kind of shuffle out of the room, but they get stopped by the guards, and they're like, "Take off your masks." And the turtles are like, "Okay." So they take off their eye bands, and they're like, "No, we mean your face mask." And they're goes, and then whose faces did they grab? Donatello's?
I couldn't tell who it was because they had their masks off, and it kind of cut to one of them, so I wasn't sure who it was supposed to be.
Grab his face, his nose, and pull it, and he's just like, "Ow!"
Yeah.
And they're like, what? Those are, and the Emperor's like, they're turtles. And they like turns into this whole like quick escape. And the turtles make short work of them using like typical like, castle mansion type, escapades.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, like swinging on the curtains. Yeah.
Which at the chandelier trick, I was like, that's like, they made like Michelangelo's like nunchucks like somehow like super extend but still be short. I was like, how the hell does this work?
Look, man, we've already established these are magic nunchucks that can do anything in Michelangelo's hands.
Yeah, this season apparently they're up, they're juiced up because they've been knocking boulders around. They got like hydro powers. So yeah, why not make them extendable?
This is kind of a small thing, but I liked how easily they got out of the predicament. It kind of showed how powerful they are just compared to more or less regular people,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they made, like I said, they made short work of these guards. So it was just like, they're like, okay, yeah, later, everybody. And then they like, do the thing where they stick some sort of like, sword or jet spear through the door handles and lock everybody in this room. So now they can all die in there by accident.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see.
Oh, while you're looking that up, there's one quote that I meant to point out that it wasn't that great, but it's one of those ones that just got me just right. I loved when the turtles got to the party at first, and Michelangelo is talking about how he smells pizza, and then he finds it it's kind of a buffet type thing.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, guys, and they're like, what did you find, April? He says, I think they asked if he found April or something like that. He's like, no. Mm-hmm. He goes, it's pizza. And he opens the dome. For some reason, there's like one of the domes, like as if you're getting served food on the buffet. There's a little dome over this pizza. He pulls it up, and it's this tiny little pizza. And he goes, or at least it will be when it grows up.
Yes, that was cool.
I found that so funny.
Little gourmet fancy pizza.
Yeah, it was also like, what is this bagel bite doing here?
Yeah.
It's like one.
Like, what's this thing gonna feed?
It's like a play on how all the fancy uppity restaurants serve their $300 dishes, and they're like not even covering 3/4 of the plate.
I'm still hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's supposed to be something like that. But there's, you go on in just a minute. There's another great quote coming up.
So the turtles escape. We go. We cut back over to the city now, and we see Princess Mallory on her adventure, and sees a news report that she's been kidnapped. She's like, "Oh no, I haven't. I'm right here."
Right.
I was like, okay. And she's like, "I must get back to the embassy," and she like hails a cab and gets in. And it's like, all right, that was easy. Back in the basement of the mansion, Bebop blasts through the doors, so they're in the basement now. And April's like stirring, and she starts talking trash. She's like, "Oh, the turtles are gonna kick your ass when like they find out what you've done." And Shredder's like, "Wait a second, I know that voice." And it's April. And he's like, "That's April O'Neil." Blah blah blah. You idiots. And it's like, bro, you were in the same goddamn room. You know damn well who you were kidnapping.
Okay. Yes, this is the quote. He goes, "This isn't the princess, you moronic mutants. It's April O'Neil." And Rocksteady goes, "The Dame Reporter."
I love it.
The Dame Reporter.
I think it's cool that they're like aware enough of who they're like, even like somebody like as tertiary, as secondary as April. They're like, "Oh man, we got the wrong person. It's that damn chick, like it's always hanging with the turtle." It's like, oh, but then like the Emperor comes on the intercom and he makes the demand. He says like they're gonna meet the demands, and there's a helicopter on the roof and yada yada. And Shredder's just like, okay, we can make this work. Like we'll make a bad situation good or whatnot. And April's got like some snide comment, and she decides she's gonna make a run for it. Shredder's like, go get him. Go get her, Bebop and Rocksteady. And they go after her, and somehow she just knocks over a pair of trash cans, and that's it. That's all it takes to evade Bebop and Rocksteady. And she like runs through a door, and they fall down. And so like I'm really starting to like appreciate Shredder's frustration.
Yeah, good point.
Bumbling idiots. Yeah.
So she gets away. Now he's like,
literally all you had to do was hold on to her.
Yeah. She's like, what, like 105 pounds? and you were like a rhino and a warthog.
Technically, she got away from Shredder's grip because he was holding her.
Oh, did she? That's right. Oh, yeah, that's right. He was the one carrying her, wasn't he?
And all it took for him was to listen to the intercom, and that's how she got away.
He was distracted, and he's trying to, like, pull this, like, fiasco out of the fire.
Yep. Here he goes blaming Rocksteady and Bebop again, just like he was in the module.
Yeah, he's gaslighting him again.
Wow.
He's like, look what you did.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, gosh.
This is because of you.
So now we're in the halls of the mansion, and the turtles, they hear the announcement at the same time, and they decide to run for the roof also.
I love Raph's quote here. This place has more twists than a pretzel factory.
Oh, I missed that one.
Great one-liner to spout off.
Yeah, Raph's been good on this season.
Yes.
So the turtles get, like, once again stopped by the guards, but just in the nick of time, as they're about to get shot, Princess Mallory shows up, and she's like, no, it's okay, like, and then, like, she clears the confusion. Basically, everybody realizes that she's the princess and that their friend April has now been the one kidnapped, and she leads them to the roof as, like a shortcut.
Dude, them guards wasn't about to shoot nobody. They say, put your hands in the air or they're going to open fire. Did you all not see that they all had swords? Nobody had a gun. They
I did not see that.
Maybe they were Final Fantasy swords.
Oh, wow.
Like gun blades or some shit.
Yeah.
Princess Mallory, she's leading the turtles to the roof. We cut to another part of the mansion. This place is big. It's a mansion. April, she's like running. She's like trying to get out. She's like, oh, I'll go through, like, there's so many doors. I'll go through this one. Like the first door. And like the way Shredder says this is hilarious. He's like, should have chose door number 2. Like he's literally in a game show.
Loved it.
Yeah. He says it exactly like a game. I mean, obviously that's the point. He's trying to play it off like, his quip is supposed to be like a game show type thing, but he even does the voice for it, which is great.
Exactly. Yeah. I like how they lean into for some reason they lean into these like comments like so hard. But
yeah.
So he goes ahead and they gag her now, and they're going to use her to make the deal. They get to the roof before the turtles, and they give April, or they're about to give April to them, but then they realize, like, they hold on to her instead, and they take the Lithium-90 from the Emperor, and he's like, give me back my daughter. He's like, not till I get where I'm safe. And somehow Shredder also knows how to fly a helicopter, which is cool.
I was gonna mention that too. I actually did think that was pretty cool. Like, he's a very capable
ninja
human.
Yes.
Yeah, ninja.
Yeah, human.
I feel like he's flown an aircraft in the past, hasn't he?
Maybe.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I just can't think of it.
Oh no, it was the Neutrinos car. That's what it was.
He was driving that.
Yeah.
Okay, because I mean, shit. To me, that's even weirder. Like.
Well, but even the turtles knew how to drive. I think that's just a really easy thing to drive because even the turtles can drive that. Didn't they? Haven't the turtles driven those?
Yeah, they drove.
Or have they?
Yeah, they had. They had one for a minute, like their own, because they left it behind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. So those I think aren't difficult to drive.
So, anyway, Shredder and Bebop, Rocksteady, and April take off in the chopper, and the turtles show up too late with the princess, and everybody realizes what's happened. And the turtles like run, and they all grab onto the skids of the helicopter. They got 2 on each side, and they're hanging on. And eventually, Michelangelo's just like, "Guys, I'm losing my grip here." And Raph, I think, is like, "We've all known that for a while."
Yeah, that was great.
That was a good one.
But then they all realize they're all about to eat shit in Lake Falls. So,
here we go.
Donatello's just like, "Well, I got the blimp over here. I just stashed it just in case." It's like on some random rooftop. Like, how did you know that you were going to end up in a helicopter chase over the city in this direct area?
Yeah, they just happened to fly right over in that.
We were doing pretty good without all of the convenience stuff that they do in the show, but this was the biggest, like...
This is a huge...
cop-out here.
Just glaring. So, yeah, and they all, like, just jump off they let go of the helicopter, and they're able to, like... I think they like do that. And it's like a cool sound effect. They each bounce off of it, like boing, 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 boing. and now they're taking the blimp.
Yep.
Shredder calls Krang. I think he lands the helicopter on like a rooftop, and he calls Krang. He's like, "Krang, are you there?"
It's amazing.
And Krang,
This is great.
Krang's
This is the best.
like, "Where else would I be? Night clubbing? Like I'm 10 miles below the earth."
One of the best quotes of the episode. That and the Dame Reporter. The Dame Reporter. Those are my two favorite ones.
I had to rewind this one because I was like, "What did he just say?
He said
Where else
that.
would I be? Night clubbing?"
That's what he said. Yes.
So at that point, Shredder asked for a module to be sent next to the museum. So this time he's asking it to be sent next to the museum.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, so it's on its way. Turtles just then show up in the blimp. They do this cool scene, like, you know, like you see in movies sometime where it's just like this massive thing is like rising behind them. And it was like, oh, that's actually a cool shot.
Yes.
So it's like rising behind Shredder in his helicopter. And they're like, oh crap, we got to get out of here. And they get down there and Shredder calls Krang again. He's just like, dude, like you put the freaking thing inside the museum. And Krang's just like, so sue me. It's like, I don't give a fuck.
The way he said it so flatly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just matter of fact.
And hung up immediately.
Exactly.
It's like, all right, Krang. Shredder was like, all right, bro, I got you.
Right.
So I'll remember this. And then we cut to the museum, which is got like the cool, like creepy music playing, the organ music. I was like, oh, this is tight.
Music again.
It's like a cool, like modern art museum. It's like got random stuff in there, but it's like pretty tight. And Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady, they end up making their way through it. They take the module and they escape. They ditch April. I think she gets saved by the turtles. And they go ahead and they take the module down, and they do this cool trick, which I don't know why they don't do it really every time, where the magma fills up the chamber, and like so it's impossible to chase them.
Yeah. They said something, Donatello, I think, says something about how Krang must be like pumping it up through the hole or something.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's cool.
There's a little small scene as the turtles bust in. April is swinging from an art piece and kicking Bebop and Rocksteady as she twirls around.
Yes, I did see that.
I missed that. I don't know how I missed that.
It was very quick, very missable.
Was it the finger?
It might have been. It might have been the finger.
Yeah. So there's this like giant finger, like it's
yeah, the finger was great.
Giant finger art installation there, and yeah, she's like I saw it when they first got in there, and then like later on they cut to it, she's on there like kicking the shit out of Bebop and Rocksteady from it, and then when Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady have to escape, they jump down this hole, and just as they jump down the hole, Bebop, he's the last one to follow him. He grabs the finger and like rides it down, and like it plugs the hole. Which I was like, initially I thought like, oh, he's just being goofy and like just grab this thing. But then I was like, no, he did that to like cover to plug the escape out so they can't be chased. I was like, that's tight.
That was a good move.
It was a good move.
Yeah.
Also, early in the episode, I thought it was pretty cool. Like, it just was a display of strength, in my opinion, where Shredder's like, hide the module. And they're like, all right. And they just like shove it down the hole. I was like, holy shit. These guys are jacked. Yeah. Yeah. So Shredder and everybody escapes. And Leo's like, man, they beat us this time. And Donatello reminds him of the flaws or the shortcomings of Lithium-90. While it's so awesome up top, in the environment down below, it's very sensitive, and with the pressures of being 10 miles under the earth, it'll either disintegrate or potentially explode. This depends.
Potentially view this as another cop-out.
Yeah, it's just like, who knows? It's either going to go one way or another, but the bad guys aren't winning.
Although, you know what? I take it back. I don't know if that is a cop-out. I bet that was just kind of planned from the start, because they could have just had the turtles, you know, beat them up and take it back or something, but they didn't do that. So yeah, okay, I take it back. Not necessarily. That wasn't like a write yourself out of the whole thing. That seems to have been planned, actually, in hindsight.
A part of me sometimes is like rooting for them, because it's like, just let them get the damn Lithium-90 so then they can actually start doing something. So
yeah.
But then again, I realized we got like 40 episodes this season, so we got to waste it. Like, there's going to be some more opportunities, I'm sure.
Big season, yeah.
They get down there. Shredder gives Krang the Lithium-90.
When he does it, Krang goes, "Give it here, give me."
Yes.
I can't do the voice, but it sounds so much better in Craig's
it was
voice.
great.
Can you do it?
I can't do it the way he did it. No.
Oh.
Yeah, it was great.
He gets the Shredder's like, here's the Lithium 90. And he's just like, oh, thank you. And he's just like grateful. And he's just like, and then it's like, he's like, wait, what's going on? And it's like acting all janky and like starts shaking. And Bebop, Rocksteady, and Shredder all like head for cover. They go behind a console.
Like, I don't know what that thing doing, but I ain't sticking around to find out.
Yes, exactly. They're like, oh, I'm get the hell out of here. And this thing is like a big ass explosion. It's like fills the whole room.
Yeah.
Shit's all busted around him. Krang and his body are all like covered in like soot and char or whatever. And Krang's just like, what? And he's like, I could have blown me to pieces. And Shredder, in his own like deadpan response, so sue me. It's like mic drop.
It was a great one. That was a great mic drop.
And then the episode ends in the turtle lair. And everybody's all like, oh, yeah, we're alive. We're happy. And they're like, what do you think, April? Like, what did you learn from this? Because everybody's going to learn something. And she's like, I think disguises are great. And she like doubles down on this shit. And she's like, next week, I'm going to infiltrate like this convention. I got like this thing, like this, like, and she pulls out like a skull cap and she puts it on. So she like becomes like a bald human. And turtles are like, yeah, just paint yourself green. You'll look like one of us. And everybody starts laughing at her.
She's pissed.
Yeah.
And she's pissed. The convention that she was referring to was specifically a bald diplomats.
Bald-headed diplomats, yes.
That's a very niche convention. Like,
very.
What? And why are they all convenient? Like, I don't even know. Like, it's the 80s. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I heard that bald men share a special bond over not having hair. So maybe they do get together, once a year.
That's why
they all get together and comfort each other.
Wow.
They mourn their loss together. I think Gorbachev will be there, wouldn't he?
I mean, yeah, he'd be alive still. He'd also be still running the Soviet Union, but yeah. But he's not a diplomat. He's like the prime minister. Like,
I don't know. That's the only like political bald-headed man I could think of. So that's all I got.
Well, I mean, that's good poll.
Yeah, good one.
So yeah, that's the end of the episode. So I'll be honest, like I had some apprehension in the beginning because I saw where this was going when they pulled the Princess Mallory and she looked identical. Mm-hmm. I was just like, especially after the way they did up April, like initially, like you could tell them apart, but when they made April look exactly like her, I was like, we're doing one of these. But I think they pulled it off very well. I was like, okay. My biggest problem with these is a lot of times they focus on the person that's the mistaken one and like their adventure. Like I did not give a shit about seeing Princess Mallory exploring New York.
Oh yeah, like she's gonna get to see what it's like to be a regular person. Like, no, I'm not.
Or her own like zany adventure. Like she's gonna like, oh, pizza is so weird. Like, oh, that's a giant rat. Or like that's like pigeons. Or like, oh, there's hobos. Like, oh, I stepped in piss.
Wow.
I don't care. Or it's like, like she's walking and she's like, oh, like up yours, lady, or like something like that, but no, I was just like, they didn't focus on that. They focused on the turtles and Shredder, and I was like, this worked out.
Yeah.
They made Lithium 90 the focus, not the actual princess.
So how many slices of pizza does that translate to?
I feel it was kind of lacking in the action, so I'm gonna give it a 7. Had some funny moments, but yeah.
Man, Mike, will you go before me? I need like an extra 10 seconds to think about this.
I mean, he put me on the spot, so that's what I came up with.
Yeah, we did put you on the spot. There was a lack of action, and I was thinking about that. But I'm still going to give this one, for some reason I had a lot of fun. I'm going to give it a 9.
Oh, wow.
There wasn't a lot of action, but there was a lot of funny stuff. I laughed a lot during this episode. And it was just fun. It was just a good, like nothing fun episode. And I have no complaints about it whatsoever. Even the lack of action it didn't hurt it for me. So 9.
I'd say I changed mine because I just saw something that I thought was incredibly awesome. And everybody's gonna think I'm a sick fuck. The fact that Rocksteady smoked that guard, 8.
Wow.
I mean, it did go a ways to showing that Rocksteady isn't afraid to kick some ass when he wants to.
That's beyond kicking ass.
True. Okay, yes. By kick some ass, I guess I mean just be a ruthless villain. I'm gonna go 9 also.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I really thought this was a great episode, and just the only thing that's holding it back is what y'all mentioned. It was pretty light on the action, but it was I thought the story was a nice kind of not even a change of pace. It was a unique story compared to other episodes that we've seen in this series so far, where we've got April dressing up all like different, and so we have that going on. That was a little different, and then we've got this whole kind of mistaken identity plot going on. Like you said, Chris, it doesn't focus too much on that, but just enough to kind of give us something interesting to have as the basis for a plot.
Yes,
bunch of great quotes.
Yeah.
This is honestly for me, this is probably as close to a 10 as I would give something but still have it be a 9. Like, this is on the fence between 9 and 10 for me, but I think the lack of action is what keeps it from going up to 10.
Mm. That's definitely a factor for me. But yeah, no, I said I held by 8, but yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I was pleasantly surprised.
It was a good one.
It was indeed.
And we got new pizza out of it.
Oh yeah, the
marshmallow and pepperoni.
Marshmallow and pepperoni, yeah.
And we also got Gary Coleman in a Ninja Turtle outfit.
Amazing. That's going to be in the description.
Oh, wow.
So, anything else before we wrap this one up, guys?
No, I don't think so.
I've got nothing.
All right. Well, thanks again, everybody, for tuning in this week. Now, next week, we are going to be jumping around again. So we do in season 3, episode 5, Sky Turtles. I don't know. That sounds exciting to me. I'm hyped.
Yeah, that's intriguing. And we'll also be eating our cheese and anchovy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just anchovy pizza. So yeah, cheese and anchovy
pizza.
Cool. Yep. So stay tuned if you want to hear how good or bad that goes. So,
I was listening to last episode today, and I had gotten to that part, and we were talking about the peanut butter and jelly pizza, and I forgot we did the mulligan. And my heart sunk. I'm like, oh, it was this? Then I listened a little further, and yes.
Oh man, you were scared, huh?
Yeah, I physically felt like doom and fear, but no.
Wow. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you next week.